Last year, we had our Young Leaders Forum in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. We had over 50 delegates to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Australia and ASEAN Partnership Dialogue. This year, we'll be holding our Young Leaders Forum in Cebu, in the Philippines. So all the Filipinos in the room, if you're interested, definitely sign up. But it's not exclusive to the Filipinos. So our Young Leaders Forum is basically a 3-day forum, something similar to this. Young people come together to talk about topical issues. The theme for this year is oceans. So we will talk about maritime security. We'll talk about marine conservation, blue economy, and blue security. Last year, just by way of comparison, last year we had, our theme for last year was technology. So we talked about critical and emerging technologies, AI, and space technology. So basically anything tech related. But this year we'll be focusing on marine and oceans. Some of the activities that we have done this year as well, we ran a SDG, so the UN Sustainable Development Goals panel discussion across 3 cities in Brisbane, where I'm from, Manila, as well as KL. So it's a good opportunity for people to come and participate and join the discussion on Sustainable Development Goals. Applications for our flagship program for this year's Young Leaders Forum will open next week. So if you follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, it's the ASEAN Australia Strategic Youth Partnership. You can sign up and come as a delegate. The good news is it is fully funded, so we will fund for your flights, we will fund for your accommodation, and you get to spend 3 to 4 days with us. So something similar to SEASAT. But there is a delegate fee, so we ask that delegates pay about $170 that kind of lock you in so that you can join the program. It's very competitive. We get hundreds and hundreds of applications every year. So yeah, so just be prepared and just submit your application anyway. That's my recommendation if you're interested. So I also just want to touch on what we did last year in May, which I kind of spoke about at the panel discussion yesterday. So last year in May, we hosted our Debate to Regulate Future Online Leaders series in Bangkok and in Thailand, which was a model UN-style conference that we hosted together with the E-Safety Commissioner of Australia, who funded it. And we came together, young leaders came together across 6 key countries across Southeast Asia and Australia to participate in a conversation around online safety for young people. So what I'm trying to say here is we run a lot of programs, we run a lot of activities that I believe are topical and that are very important for young leaders to talk about, and we will want to continue to have that conversation with young people. So if you have an interest in the region, definitely sign up either to be a member or to volunteer with us. I should also mention that we are a completely volunteer-run organisation. All the executive team and our board members and our volunteers are completely volunteer-run organisation. We have about 60 volunteers at any given time. I'm in this role as a volunteer as well. In my day job, I'm a lawyer, but I spend my time outside of work running the organisation. So we are really looking for people that are passionate in this area, people who are willing to contribute and to engage with young leaders across Southeast Asia and Australia. And why is this important? This is important because we believe that Australia's security lies in Southeast Asia. A stable, a secure and open Southeast Asia is where Australia's future lies. This is because Southeast Asia is one of Australia's largest trading partners. And we want to make sure that young people are aware of this. One of the early founders of our organisation, and I should clarify as well, because I've been asked a few times, I'm not the founder of the organisation. I just inherited someone who founded the organisation. The founders of our organisation wanted to see young people engaged in this region because there was a lack of awareness within Australia as to the role of Southeast Asia. But we are seeing that becoming more prevalent now because we're running a lot of programs to raise that awareness to make sure that young people have that conversation. And I should finally also just note that we are funded mostly by the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. And so, we engage with diplomats and embassies across the region. So yeah, with that, thank you very much, and keep an eye out for our socials and sign up to join our delegate. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I'm sure a lot of people will ask you questions about the upcoming summit, which is taking place in Cebu. So also nice beaches there. So second, we're going to welcome on stage Titus Wijay, who is a curriculum and program lead at Future Skills by PIJAR Foundation. The PIJAR Foundation is an Indonesian politically independent foundation dedicated to advance talent, innovation, and public policy in the private and community sectors. Titus leads national initiatives that bridge higher education with industry, impacting over 80,000 youth, over 200 industry partners, and supporting the upskilling of civil servants through several flagship programs. Please help me welcome Titus on stage.
Thank you, Vaiti. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, my name is Titus Aldinata Wijaya, but you can call me Titus. Actually, I'm from Indonesia, and currently I serve as a program and curriculum lead at Future Skills by PIJAR Foundation. Let me start this presentation with one simple question. Have you ever felt stuck when you are starting an initiative or movement or perhaps a new program in your own country? Anyone? Yes? Or perhaps everyone felt the same. And then maybe you have a strong idea, maybe you have a bold value, or maybe you have a great team or people like that to support that. But sometimes you just hit a wall to start or to develop this kind of program. And that's okay, guys. You are not alone. We all feel the same feeling, right? We share the same feeling like that. And it happens more often than we're thinking, and especially in Indonesia, there's no shortage of good ideas or passionate people, but too often efforts are disconnected. Sometimes we go by our own way, and we see that perhaps in education programs move their own way, and innovations grow in separate corners, and perhaps policies discussion take a completely different path. And we think that it's not effective enough if we still on that condition, or if we still in this ecosystem. So without alignment, without coordinating each other, things fall through the cracks and big ideas stay small. So next slide. Yeah. So that's exactly where PIJAR Foundation comes in. We see that this is a big problem if we cannot align each other, if we cannot align between three main sectors: education, innovation, and policy. So we believe that we have to create a movement, a synchronized movement, to develop or improve our education, innovation, and public policy making process as the core of sectors that cannot succeed if they are done in the separate ways. So they need to be connected, they need to be synchronized through collaboration. So we do really highlighting these phrases, collaboration, to build a strong, inclusive, and future-ready ecosystem. So that's what we do in PIJAR Foundation. And basically, PIJAR Foundation is not just an ordinary organization. We are the connector, we are the catalyst for others, right? So we work with strategic players like policymakers, founders, educators, companies, and something like that to turn bold ideas into real impact. And basically, we have three main focuses. In education sectors, we have Future Skills Program. You can search it on Google, and you can go to futureskills.id. That's our platform. basically we connecting industry sectors in Indonesia and our youth in Indonesia so that our youth can learn directly from the industry. So, and then they can be prepared more to be in the future ready workforce in Indonesia. And then we also have Future Lestari. Basically, it's perhaps it's an incubator or accelerator. So if you guys have any startup or if you guys have any idea, you can go to our Future Lestari program. It's a Future Lestari by Pijar Foundation. You can Google it. And we create like a boot camp to teach you how to create your startup from scratch and how to develop your startup until you get funding from the venture capital. And the third one is Global Future X. So it's a basically It's basically a program that connecting youth across Indonesia, and currently we are open it for the foreigner. So basically we made a fellowship program so that the youth can discuss more about a specific topic. For the first Global Future X Fellowship Program, or GFF, we namely GFF, or Global Future Fellowship, we are talking about energy transition in Bali. You know, Bali is one of our popular destination in Indonesia. So we talk about energy transition at that moment. And the next year, or in the second batch, we talk about other topics, security, food security, and etc. So, and let me wrap up this up. And then we are not only creating that program, but we also connecting each other beneficiaries through Futurist Hub. So once you are on our ecosystem, you already your data, your information, your activity are already recorded in our ecosystem, and then we connecting all of you through our platform, namely Futurist Hub. So maybe next slide. To the last slide, perhaps. This is our achievement for this past 3 years. So basically, it's a very young organization, but we already engaged with more than 80K national and Asia youth, and then we also collaborate with more than 200 partners. Next slide. So to the last slide. So maybe that's all from me for Pijar Foundation. We do really open collaboration with all of you guys, especially if you have any idea or project in education, innovation, or policy making process. Let's collaborate. Let's be the future, and for the better South Asia, and Taiwan sustainable and better future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, teachers. Thank you so much. It's impressive to see what your organization has made in just 3 years. And we had some representatives from Pijar Foundation at Youth and Forum this year. Yeah, 2 representatives. So thank you. Third, we're going to welcome Sarah Young, who is representing the Asia New Zealand Foundation. So in the Asia New Zealand Foundation was established in 1994. It's also known as Te Wito Tuhono in New Zealand, and it's a leading provider of Asia insights and experiences. Its mission is to equip New Zealanders to excel in Asia by providing research, insights, and targeted opportunities so that youth can grow their knowledge, connections, and experiences across the Asia region. Please help me welcome Sarah Young, who is representing the Asia New Zealand Foundation today.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Maybe we'll start with saying together hello in Te Reo Māori, which is the language of our Indigenous people. So you can repeat after me. It's kia ora. Okay, thank you. I'm here representing the Asia New Zealand Foundation. So we are a government-funded charitable organisation in New Zealand and also New Zealand's leading authority on Asia. Next slide, please. So I wanted to start with a story, the impact that the Asia New Zealand Foundation has had on me and my life, and essentially why I'm here at the moment. So one of the Asia New Zealand Foundation has a lot of very initiatives and programs to connect Kiwis, which if you don't know what New Zealanders or New Zealand people are called, to connect Kiwis across Asia. So one of them being internships. So I was fortunate enough in 2023 to be part of the internship program, and I had an internship over here in Taiwan. Long story short, I loved it so much here. I loved the intersection of technology and culture that 6 months later, I returned, 3 months later, I returned to New Zealand, and 6 months after that, I decided to move and transfer my studies to Taiwan. So this is just one of the profound impacts that the foundation has on young Kiwis, just like me, that really exposes us and opens our eyes to the world and to Asia. Next slide, thank you. So there are many other programs that the foundation has. So I've just talked about the internships and residency. So it provides the professional skills and capabilities to young Kiwis to work in a professional context. Track 2 diplomacy is connecting Kiwis in Asia about think tanks and conversations in the regional issues. And another one, such as the Leadership Network, is delegations that go to places around Asia to learn and connect with different organizations, partnerships, networks, to foster existing partnerships and also to broaden our perspectives and create new ones. So to finish, on the last slide, I wanted to share a whakatoki, which is a Māori proverb, and I think it encapsulates the mission of the Asia New Zealand Foundation and also why we are all here today. So, he aha te mea nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. It means, what is the most important thing in the world? It is the people, it is the people, it is the people. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much. So fourth, we're happy to welcome Antea Kanasa, Partnership Officer at STEER. STEER is the student think tank for Europe-Asia relations, and Antea received her bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Santo Tomas and is currently pursuing a law degree. She has internship experiences at the Diplomatic League, the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs, at the European Academy of Diplomacy, and the Galing Puk Foundation. Let's welcome Antea on stage.
So, hello everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, I am here on behalf of STEER, Student Think Tank for Europe-Asia Relations, as their partnerships officer. And I feel delighted to be speaking alongside distinguished individuals who have each made their marks in their respective fields. And for the PowerPoint, but yeah, continuing with the discussion, I would like to first say that, I would like to first say that when you are engaging in youth civic engagement, it's a difficult prospect to break through, especially when you are an introverted person like I am. But through my experience, different experiences I've had across the different spaces for youth civic engagement along the years, I've come to notice that, of course, there is a place for each and every one of us, whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, and it doesn't have to be reserved only for those who have the most credentials or are the loudest persons in the room. And this is where my work with STEER has come into fruition, and it has been a significant undertaking for me in some ways because they made me realize that there are diverse diverse ways of participation. Next slide, please. So for a bit of context, STEER, or Student Think Tank for Europe-Asia Relations, is a youth-led policy institute which was founded very, very recently. It was in 2021. So we are 5 years in action, and specifically our mission is to strengthen ties and cultural understanding between the billions of people living across Europe and Asia. And through STEER, I think that I've learned that civic engagement in this regard doesn't have to just look at one particular way. Because back then, when I was starting out my journey in youth civic engagement, particularly through the ALIF Summit by the ASEAN-Australian Strategic Youth Partnership, I was actually a delegate back then, so it feels like a full circle moment speaking in front of you. But yeah, back then, I did not know where my place is in youth civic engagement, specifically because I find it difficult connecting with people. But ironically enough, I am a partnerships officer. I find fulfillment in connecting and bridging others through partnerships across sectors. And particularly, in just over 5 years, rather, STEER has grown, next slide please, STEER has grown to over 89 active members across 40 different countries, representing across 40 different countries, and having over 550 plus participants, and a running number of 160 plus blogs published. And of course, we have already acquired legal status or legal entity status in France. That's because STEER has different branches. From what I remember, we have Brussels and Singapore so far. So we do all this while we stay true to our values of respect, diversity, and empowerment. And as such, as part of the partnerships officer, as part of the partnerships team, I've seen how small things can accumulate into bigger impact. And one thing I found especially important when my journey in STEER is they create spaces to unlock complex global issues, such as just recently we had an internal workshop on US-China economic relations, a topic with rippling effects throughout Europe and Asia, and as well as STEER news articles, which we have been publishing very much recently. In particular, we have an article on the EU strategic autonomy in its foreign policy, and reflections on the EU-Asia relations. And we have here our managing editor, Prince. He's the one who's been editing our articles and publishing them frequently over the past few days. And this reminds me that conversations between complex global issues can be both rigorous but also accessible to us. And that is where STEER's strength lies, in accessibility of acquiring knowledge and understanding these complex global issues, because no topic is too big when you narrow it down. And next slide, please. And in particular, our activities range from cultural exchanges through the STEER Global Village, and it is a cultural exchange between individuals between Europe and Asia. And in particular, we have our policy activities. We have been publishing in the Journal of Asia and Europe Relations, subsequent news articles as well. And in particular, next slide please, we have the ASEAN EU Summer School, which is a capacity building aspect that STEER promotes. It is co-powered by our partners at TAEF. So this will be at near July, at the end of July. So next slide, please. And in particular, we have an upcoming conference on Europe and Asia. It will be based in Belgium. So it will explore topics of development cooperation, resilient supply chains, and cultural exchanges, among others. If there's anything I want you to take home about this conversation with STEER, is that they will provide spaces for you regardless of what your identity is. as an introvert or as an extrovert, you can find a place in youth civic engagement through STEER. Next slide, please. So you can connect with us through LinkedIn or Instagram, as we are very much active in these two platforms. And I want you to take home that youth civic engagement is not a one-size-fits-all aspect. You each have a place in the world where you want to make a change. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Antea. Thank you for sharing. And STEER is also only volunteer-based, right? So that's a lot of work. So next, we're going to welcome on stage 2 young leaders from Pacific Forum. I think I don't need to introduce Pacific Forum anymore. It's an independent think tank based in Hawaii and focusing on research for the Asia-Pacific region. So we have 2 young leaders. So we're first going to be calling Katrina. So Katrina is a program specialist at Bankers Without Borders of Grameen Foundation and a young leader at Pacific Forum. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause to Katrina.
Hello. Magandang umaga po. Good morning. My name is Katrina Guanyo. You can call me Kat. I'm a young leader at Pacific Forum. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Jeff Otto, who is the director of fellowships and next gen programs at Pacific Forum. So the Young Leaders program of Pacific Forum equips young leaders and early career professionals in foreign policies with the knowledge, skills, networks, and insights into Indo-Pacific issues. So the young leaders have quite unique experiences. That's why I'm here with Sakshri, where we'll be having different inputs, just because each young leader has their own unique experiences, so I will share mine. So I started my journey with Pacific Forum 2 years ago when I wrote a paper. It's a chapter for Pacific Forum's Issues and Insights. And that chapter is about climate mobility, displacement, and the intersection with human security in the Philippines. In that same year, I joined the US-ASEAN Symposium in Washington, D.C., where I was with 4 other young leaders, also from Pacific Forum, and we participated in policy dialogues and even writing policy memos for different issues, but specifically for our side, we wrote a policy memo on human rights and inclusion, specifically on disability inclusion, particularly for the case of the legacies of war in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. And also that same year, 2023 is eventful. 2023, I also participated, provided program support for Women, Peace, and Cybersecurity Forum in Manila. And last year, we were in Tokyo doing some work for Pacific Forum, for Pacific Forum's own workshop on critical technologies. So that's my experience so far with Pacific Forum. It's a lot for considering that we are over 1,000 across 56 countries. So you have like a really huge and diverse pool of fellow young leaders at Pacific Forum. So in just 2 years, I've had definitely a wealth of learning experience with Pacific Forum. I've met many experts who are usually I just see them on LinkedIn, on social media, or sometimes I just read them in the news, online, and surprisingly experts who I only knew about in journal articles. And I also got connected with a lot of other fellow young leaders who share the same passion for issues in the Pacific, and specifically for issues concerning ASEAN member states, like the Philippines. And one of my closest friends is actually from Timor, so that's still not part of ASEAN, but part of Southeast Asia. So my work and my experience with Pacific Forum as a young leader has definitely introduced me to all of these experiences, these people, these experts, and honestly, this has helped me when it comes to strengthening my capacities in my work now in women, peace, and security, and also in my own volunteer advocacy in digital literacy and cybersecurity. So looking back, maybe if I had not submitted that chapter for Pacific Forum, if I had not pushed myself to write for Pacific Forum, then I wouldn't be here today. So just to quickly wrap up, programs like Pacific Forum's Young Leaders is a testament that when young people like us have the opportunity to collaborate, speak up, and participate meaningfully, we contribute to civic engagement. And I'm grateful to be part of this global community of young leaders who are not just imagining a better future, but also actively shaping it from the ground up. Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Thank you so much, Katrina. So now we're going to welcome the second young leader from Pacific Forum, Sakshi Sri. Please give a warm round of applause to Sakshi Sri.
Namaste and ni hao to everyone. I'm Sakshi Sri and representative from Pacific Forum. And today, what Katrina has already explained regarding the Pacific Forum. So I'm taking a bit forward of the Pacific Forum. So Vaiti has rightly said that it is an independent think tank. I'm going to take a quick call about what is Pacific Forum. So Katrina has already told about what is Pacific Forum, what's her experience, and I'm going to take mine. So Pacific Forum is also having one of the major steps that they have taken forward, which is the Young Leaders, Next Generation Young Leaders Program, which is we both are all part of it. So every September, October, there is an opening for the Young Leaders Program. You can apply for it. And then there comes the events and the, because it's a think tank, so you can write the publications, you can publish the reports as well. And where you can have, there is upcoming conference, which is the Honolulu Defense Forum. If you are interested in the security and national security as well, so you can apply for that and you can be part of the Honolulu Defense Forum. So there are multiple events that Pacific Forum conducts, which is going to be held in the next couple of years, which you can be part of. And apart from that, Pacific Forum is also dealing with, so there is one initiative of Pacific Forum, which is known as PACNet commentary. So you can take a readout. So just like the newspaper, this is also one of the quick overview of the newsletter where you can check upon what are the news going on in the several countries and what is the main key points and key activities that is going on. So it is written by the experts. It is written by the young leaders like us. So there are Young Leaders blog as well. You can also apply and you can also write for the Young Leaders blog. You can check out the Young Leaders program, whatever the queries you have. You can easily connect with the Jeff, who is right here, and don't bombard his chat box. You can just chat in person, most probably. And then I must say that I'm really grateful to Jeff and Rob, who are my mentor. Because so far, it's really been being like a next generation young leader. I must say that I have spent more than 2 years in this Pacific Forum, and this platform has given me the opportunity to meet the experts and the peers. So I'm the India chapter lead as well. So there are several countries, just like Katrina has rightly said, there are 56 countries, more than 56 countries, and every country has their own chapter of the young leader, and all the young leaders has one chapter lead. So I am the chapter lead of India, and where I'm engaging with the other peers, like the other young leaders who are inspiring, who have their own stories. So just like that, I recently came across with Rocco, who is the Washington, D.C. chapter lead, and we are going to thinking of conducting one webinar and one seminar at the Washington, D.C. super soon. So hopefully it is going to be held, and we are going to talk upon later. And apart from that, I really want to touch upon the capacity building and the civic engagement. So there are certain challenges that we have already faced, and currently we are going to solve this problem with a problem-solving approach. So with that note, I want to take a quick call because I come from a very rural background in India, which is the Nawada district, a small town in Bihar. So India is a very populated country. So you can say that it's 1.4 billion, from where you can come across like 66% of the population is under 35. So I don't see as it's a demographic dividend. It is mostly like the, more probably it is the civic enforce movement. So it's more into the youth segment. So now you are considering that when you have the most population with the youth, then it's more into the opportunity, it's more into the powerful nation. So India is considering into that, and India is going to have the vision of Viksit Bharat as well for the 2047. So considering, I really want to highlight on the challenges of this civic engagement. So because we have very short of time, so I am going to take upon 2 to 3 challenges over here. So there is no structural pipeline for the youth engagement. For example, there is grassroots engagement, which is not going ahead with the very national program or national framework. So how you are going to engage with that, because you don't have a pipeline. So for example, there is the grassroots level, and there's a ladder to leading ahead with the international forum or international framework. So how you are going to take up the steps to the ladder of the international forum. So youth can be the bridge between these two by these kind of platforms like Pacific Forum. Second is the NAP. NAP is the National Action Plan on Youth, where you can have these several countries on paper on the budget line, but there is a constraint of budget as well. So we really have to figure out how the budget can be coming up. So we are going to have times up. So there should be the advisory board, which I have also considered in the last presentation last day, and where we can say that Y20, if you are aware of, there's G20, Y20, which is a wonderful representation and the offered structure. So from there onwards, you can have the model. So it is more of a seasonal model, and you can consider it into the more of a very permanent and core one. So just like Y20, we should also have Y Youth Advisory Board at every nation. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sakshi. And sorry, I forgot to introduce you, so I'm going to do it now. Sakshi is a geopolitical researcher and youth policy advisor focusing on the Indo-Pacific. She has led maritime and cybersecurity work at SAA India and for the Indian Navy. She also authored papers on India-Taiwan relations and co-designed the Global Youth Peace and Security Framework with UNDP, UNICEF, COP2930, and over 10 ministries. So thank you, Katrina and Sakshi, for presenting the Pacific Forum Youth Leader Program. Okay, so now we're gonna go next with our next speaker. It is Wu Xinyo from the Democratic Progressive Party, also known as DPP in Taiwan. So just to give you a little bit of context, the DPP is one of the 2 main political parties in Taiwan, and it's also the party of the current president and vice president. So the Department of International Affairs of the DPP cultivates a new generation of diplomatic talents, try to expand international connectivity, and gather support for Taiwan abroad. And Wu Xinyo is currently working in the new media division of the DPP, and her responsibilities include managing social media platform and producing online programs. In the past, she also served as a legislative assistant in the Legislative Yuan, which is the parliament here in Taiwan. So please help me welcome her on stage.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to speak with you today. I'm Wu Xinyo, and I work at the New Media Center of Democracy Progressive Party. So let me briefly introduce the DPP, not just a political party, but as a democratic movement. It was founded in 1986 when Taiwan was still under the martial law. Back then, forming an opposition party was illegal. Many early DPP members were prosecuted for simply demanding democracy and human rights. Much of what we have learned over the past 2 days about Taiwan's democracy journey and human rights movement is closely to DPP's own history, from Formosa trial in 1980 to the Sunflower Movement in 2014. Our story is deeply intertwined with the people's fight for freedom, justice, and dignity. DPP was born from the struggle, becoming the first opposition party in Taiwan's history and playing a key role in our transition to democracy. And we're committed to protecting Taiwan's sovereignty, defending democracy, and we're empowering the next generation. When DPP was in power, Taiwan seems stronger economic growth, better international partnership, and great society stability. If you walk through the street now, you'll likely see banners calling for the recall of certain legislators. It's because over half of them are seen as pro-China, and some of their actions have caused strong public backlash. In response, many young people have launched what's become the largest recall campaign in our history, not just to remove lawmakers, but just to protect democracy from China interference. At TPP, young people are not only encouraged to participate, they are given real responsibility. If you are capable and motivated, you can contribute to policy communication, organizing, or even decision-making. We don't ask how old are you, we ask what can you do? There's also a department called DPP Youth that focuses on engaging young people, researching youth policy, and building leadership. Many of our current staff, including myself, got involved through that program. In my current role at the New Media Center, I work on social media strategy and online engagement. In our team, young people lead efforts to communicate political issues in both traditional and creative ways. Whether it's shaping message, responding to misinformation, and supporting movements like the recall campaign, everyone has the voice. Even before coming to power, DPP was known for amplifying young voice through election and policies. We continue to create space for youth to not only care about the politics, but to shape the future. To all the young leaders here today, we are all facing challenge in the region. But if we stay connected, support each other, and hold on to our value, we can build a stronger, freer, and more democratic future together. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Wu Xinyo. Thank you. So we're going to switch to our next speaker, who is coming from Japan. We're going to welcome Taichi Shimoda, Project Coordinator for Disability and Inclusion at the Nippon Foundation. The Nippon Foundation is a non-profit grant-making organization based in Tokyo. It serves as a hub for social innovation and collaborates with stakeholders worldwide to address diverse social challenges. As a project coordinator for disability and inclusion, Taichi's main responsibilities include the Prosthetics and Orthotics Program, the Entrepreneurship Support Initiative, and a vocational training program in Myanmar. Please help me welcome Taichi Shimoda on stage.
First of all, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to Taiwan-Asia Exchange Foundation for organizing SEASAT Youth Camp 2025. It's a great honor for me to join the meaningful gathering as a network partners. My name is Taichi Shimoda. I'm working at the Nippon Foundation, actually as a associate program officer. Let me tell a little bit about my organization. The Nippon Foundation is based in Tokyo, and we are the non-profit organization and the biggest grant-giving foundation in Japan. And we have a lot of projects around the world and in Japan. We usually have a strong partnership with social entrepreneur and non-profit organization and government to solve social problems. We call it Social Innovation Hub. Our goal is to build a society where people help each other. I'm working under the International Disability Inclusion Team, and I'm responsible for some project in Southeast Asia. And recently, we just launched a new project. Our project aims to support entrepreneurs with disabilities. Actually, this project is launched in the Indonesia, Philippines, Myanmar, and Cambodia. Um, yeah. In the past, we support the people with disabilities to get a job in company, but we found out that people with disabilities face barriers such as lack of accessibilities and stigma. So we decided to help them to, so we decided to like create an environment for anyone to start their own business. And we strongly hope that they create a job opportunity by themselves and create a accessible technology and products. Actually, as I say, I'm quite new of the Nippon Foundation, so actually I have many things to learn, even in the disability field. So I really want to share my idea and also gain insights from you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Taichi Shimoda. So last but not the least, we have our last networking partner representative on stage. This is Tam An Vi from the Vietnam School of Global Opportunities. And the Vietnam School of Global Opportunities is a youth-led initiative committed to empower Vietnamese university students to access short-term global learning experiences. Tam An Vi is currently pursuing a degree in English language teaching education at the VNU University. Along with her studies, Tam An Vi also serves as the head of external affairs at the Vietnam School of Global Opportunities. Please join me in welcoming Tam An Vi on stage.
Hello, all the delegates. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tessa, and I am the head of External Affairs at VSGO, Vietnam School of Global Opportunities, a youth-led initiative founded in 2024 in Vietnam. And first of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to SEASAT team for having me here today. So now I want to share with you guys what is VSGO, who we are, and how we formed. So VSGO was born based on recognition of a real gap between students and youngsters, and the information about exchange programs, international exchange programs, and skill and the mindset needed to pursue international exchange internships and volunteers programs all over the world. So as a young change makers, we came together to build a platform so that we can empower young students to have ability to be able to join those international exchange programs. So next slide, please. So now I would like to share with you our vision and missions. So VSGO want to inspire and support Vietnamese students and youngsters in pursuing international exchange, especially short-term exchange programs. And we want to be a leading platform providing youngsters with information, skills, mindset, and that they needed to thrive in academic and cultural environment. And beyond that, we want to build a sense of citizenship for Vietnamese students. And by doing that, we want to organize different seminars to employ them with the knowledge, the skill needed to thrive. And we also collaborate with other international organizations to have online info session to share more about global chances to the youngsters in Vietnam. So next slide, please. So I'm gonna share with you some of our key achievements for the last 10 months because we are a brand new organization. So during the working time, we have successfully organized 4 themed seminars. And during that 4 seminars, we welcomed more than 500 participants. And during the promotion for these seminars, we have gained more than 1,400 total views and followers, and more than 20,000 organic engagement on our social media. And recently, we have successfully organized 3 online workshops with international organizations in 2025. And just recently, we have successfully built a community of more than 1,000 young leaders, young learners from Vietnam University. So in the future, this year, we will organize uni tours. We will go to different leading universities in Vietnam to share about international chances to the students there. And we want to welcome different alumni from different international organizations and exchange programs to share the experience, their tips to apply. And now I'd like to share with you some of our partners and network that we have worked with. And next slide, please. So during our seminars, we have worked with these organizations, and we believe that with a network with them, we have brought international chances closer to Vietnamese students. And next slide. And recently, as I mentioned, we have successfully organized online info session with international organizations, and that includes SEASAT. You can see in the middle, we have successfully organized a info session with SEASAT like a month ago, maybe, yes. And we also have worked with AFMOM and UYSLS to organize info session for the students to apply for those international exchange programs. So I hope that after today, VSGO will have more partnership with other organizations, international organizations, so that who have the same mission, same vision and objectives. Yeah, so Can you move to the next slide? So this is the QR code to our online platforms. So please scan the QR code and don't hesitate to contact us and follow us. And I hope that we can be partners someday in the future. Thank you.